Is Freddy going to be the savior of Farlight 84?
Freddy, maybe not so much. I mean, definitely looks like a cool character. I saw the cinematic with the new music video and everything like that, and that was kind of interesting. I don't know if he's going to be the savior. Sounds like could be an interesting character, but I think the sliding is what everyone's going to be pretty hyped for. It's looking like it's going to be super comboable, and you can kind of do just about anything with it. So I'm sure everyone's going to be quite excited for that, right, Corrupted?
Absolutely. I think Josh kind of touched on what I was wanting to touch on. I think like that's going to really come into play in comp, because all these teams that are grinding, having a little more movement, and the combos like Josh talked about, really piqued my interest as to how that is going to change like the mechanics of a comp match and how everybody plays it. And like he said, finding those little tricks and tech, as he would call it, really could be interesting. And I don't feel like the character is even going to be in the meta right now for comps. That's just my personal opinion, Mister.
Yeah, it sounds so. Looking at the jet slide, then you think it's going to be a higher skill ceiling than the jetpack? You think it's going to have more? Just looking at what we've seen, do you think there's more variability that what you're going to be able to do with it? I mean, like straight off, you said jet slide. So what is it that you're thinking that's going to disrupt the play of what we're seeing at the moment? What do you think it's going to do? What have your first thoughts been?
And I would say one thing that's going to be kind of different is that right now there's a pretty, big reliance on vehicles and stuff like that. At least with having the ability to jet slide, I think it's going to make it a little bit more people are going to be a little bit more confident rotating in the open instead of having to, completely rely on, abilities to get around or anything like that. So that's going to be helpful. And it also, the other main thing that's going to be beneficial is that, the people who were using it to just try to get around to make the game feel a little bit faster are going to be able to use that jet slide instead and have their jetpack up for the actual fights when they come up. So that'll be pretty big.
Yeah, so the traversal, you're thinking that's going to speed people up and be able to... I know a few people were wanting that change just for that traversal. It felt like they were running around a little bit too much. So what do you think on the combat side of things? Do you think how do you think it will fare up to things like Duck Side or your Maggie's? I mean, Maggie's going to have jetpacks and the jet slide now. So she's going to have like the extra mobility. What do you foresee there?
I'll leave that one for you, Corrupted.
Well, it's going to change people's interactions, like the fight interactions for sure. I think hopefully, I don't know enough about it, but I think it'll change how fights happen, because people will be able to move out of the way of somebody shooting at them, or change the way an engagement's going to happen. And high-level teams are probably going to be able to utilize that fairly fast to get an angle or move out of the way of somebody. So you combo that with like Maggie, and it's going to be kind of crazy. The game's probably going to speed up a couple notches, I would say. I mean, I'll be curious to make it more of analyze it more once I get a feel for it and actually get to touch it, though. That's for sure, Josh and Lister.
Yeah, one thing that's going to be ideal, because I noticed prior to the duck side changes, I was on a roof of a building quite often, going for peaks and stuff like that, because I just had the flexibility to jump off of the building so quickly with his old E-dash. But being able to do that almost now with the jet slide is going to make it so that you're not really stuck up on a roof. If you get shot at, you can kind of just get off nice and easy and hopefully avoid the shots, opposed to kind of what it's currently been. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely is going to be. I think I can foresee it's going to be very interesting. The counters are going to be a little easier. I think some of those faster moves, people are going to be able to get out of the way a lot quicker than they have been, and then be able to counter back. So I think the counter plays is what's going to be more. So these fights might go in for even longer than we've seen them go on, because some of the moves at the moment, don't have as much mobility other than the horizontal jet on some of the characters still. So I'm looking forward to being able to see that there'll be like a retaliation plays to someone's dropping that ult, you're going to be able to get out of that a little bit quicker, and then maybe slide and dipping and diving. So it's just going to be mayhem, I think, is what I'm looking forward to. And it'll be interesting to see, because it looks like a lot of people are seeing that Freddy trailer and coming back in on maybe the more casual side. I mean, anyone in chat who's seen the new Freddy and the jet slide, let us know what you think, and if you think that's going to be something big for Farlight now.